influencing is of great interest. Why can't we simply persuade, explain, share information, prove things with facts, and that helps people make the correct decisions? Well, the fact is, that's not how life works, unfortunately. And there's a whole group of people, collectively known as social scientists, who essentially research and dig into all of this. The one that's of most help to us is a man called Cialdini, Robert Cialdini, who's published a great book about this. And Cialdini essentially says there are 6 major areas that are used to influence people. Let's look at commitment and consistency. Essentially, the work shows that people are more likely to do something if they've said they'll agree to it first. That's why try and get people on board before you go to them with your complete idea. As many as possible, as wide a group as possible, you might call them stakeholders. The more that agree to buy into it, the more when you come up with your ideas, hopefully working with them, they're able to carry them out. Reciprocity is an interesting one. It essentially says people are more likely to do something for us if they feel we've done something for them. And this can be as simple as sending them a note saying, saw this and thought of you, or you open the door for them, or you're kind to them in a meeting. They remember that, and essentially we're in an honoured network of obligation throughout our lives, and we're grateful to people who are good towards us. And so helping others without expecting anything in return will then lead to reciprocity, where they want to do something to help you. Authority is one of the 6, and it simply says that people are more likely to comply with something if they believe that authority has said it's the right thing to do. This is the principle behind senior journals. If it's published there, it's more likely to be convincing. This is the principle behind NICE and other bodies that say, yes, it's okay to use that, or you ought to use that. Think about this. Who's set guidelines? Who's agreed? What other areas are going for this so that you can quote them in your work? Consensus is sometimes known as social proof. It essentially says, if everybody's doing it, I ought to be doing it. Therefore, if you enter a building and you see everybody leaving as fast as they possibly can, you might be wise to follow them. There could be a fire or an alarm or something, and you might help yourself. So consensus essentially says if many people are doing it, it must be the right thing to do. Not that it necessarily is the right thing to do, but that's the principle of consensus. The more people are doing it, the more convincing it is. Scarcity is the principle that the fewer we have of something, the more valuable we perceive it to be. And this is something you can use to your advantage by showing how rare it is a thing that you're offering or willing to offer. Liking is the principle that the more somebody is like us, the more that we're likely to comply with whatever it is they want us to do. How can we use this in practice? Well, we can show that we understand them, their needs and their aspirations, and we can show that what we're trying to do will fit with what they're planning to do. The more that we show empathy, the more that we will attract liking and therefore have success. Contact us and we'll send you more information.